May is finally here, and we're already seeing a big difference in the small caps. Just for instance, today we had CTMX doing a total of a 250% gain in a single day, which is absolutely insane. In comparison to last month, we were not seeing stuff like this. So it's really good to see stocks make this kind of move. And today in this video, I want to talk about the stock a little bit, and I also want to talk about what I'm looking forward to seeing in the coming days. But before we get into the video, I have to say that this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Also, thank you for 100 subscribers, and then also, I have a free Discord if you guys want to join it. I call out the pre-market gainers every morning, and we talk in the chat a little bit there. So if you guys want to join that, I'll have a link in the comments and in the description. But let's get into it. So the stock today was CTMX. This thing was insane. Let me put the 1 minute chart on so we can look at the open. I don't like how this charting is, but yeah, right here. So this is like the main part of the day right here. So as you can see, these are big candles, and we can mark out some of these candles, like almost 20% in a single 1 minute candle is crazy, especially in comparison to last month when it was like super slow and it was not doing stuff like this. So this is really good to see. I'm really hoping to see momentum continue like this for the rest of the month. So I'm going to talk about some things that I'm looking forward. I'll be looking forward to seeing in some of these stocks in the coming days. So the first thing is higher float stocks. So CTMX on TD Ameritrade, it was saying that this had a 67 million share float, which is pretty abnormal for a stock that moves up this much. I mean, every now and then you'll see a stock with a high float that makes a big move, but usually it's the lower float stocks, like within like 5 million or below. So that's something that I did take notice, and I'll be looking forward to seeing maybe more high float stocks in the coming days to make big moves, just to see if that's like a new theme that's going to happen. And just to quickly cover this, if you don't know what float is basically the amount of shares that are available on a single stock to trade. And usually with small cap momentum stocks, they are 5 or maybe I'll say 10 million shares and below, because like the less amount of shares that there are available, the more volatile stock usually is. But in the case of today, that just wasn't what was happening. That was not happening at all. And this had 67 million shares. That's a lot of shares for a 250% move, at least from what I usually see. So I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to seeing stuff like that. I'll be checking them out, like the float on the stocks and the pre-market gainers every day now, just for the next couple days coming, to see if that's like a new theme that's going to happen. But you never know. Let's get into the next one. So the second one is top gainers. This morning, TMX was, I'm pretty sure, the number one gainer today. So it was up. Let me look at the pre-market. So pre-market was already up when it opened, around 100% actually on the dot. So this was the top one, and this was like, I think it's also like the main one I was watching at the open as well. So I'll be looking for the top gainers to be strong looking as well. Like this charting is pretty good. I think that's another thing I have on the list. But let's go to the next one. So the next one is stock price between $2 and $10. So this is usually what I look for anyway. But right now, because we've had some penny stocks move in the past couple weeks that did pretty good, like stocks below $1. But right now that the stock just happened, and it started at like 160 and it went up to almost $6 actually, which is pretty crazy. So now that this stock just happened today, I'll be looking for stocks in between like this current price range and also a little bit higher. That's one thing I have noticed throughout my days of trading, is that a lot of times when there's like a new theme going on with if a stock goes up a lot, you might see stocks of a similar price range also be more volatile in the coming days, because people are going to see them and be like, oh, this is just like yesterday, you know? That's kind of like the mental or the psychological thinking behind that. So I'll be looking for stocks within the $2 to $10 price range, which is usual, but I'll be looking for it a bit more now that this stock happened today. The next one is therapeutic stocks. So therapeutic stocks, like medicine related stuff or, pharmacy stuff. This one was a therapeutic stock, and I don't know what the news was. Yeah, who knows? I don't really care about the news too much usually, but this one, it may have had some kind of news regarding as like a medicine or some kind of drug experiment. I don't really know. I didn't check it, but I'll be looking for other therapeutic stocks to also potentially run from like sympathy momentum with this because of the stock. So let's look at the next one. The next one I have is strong pre-market charting technicals. And what I mean by that is basically just like how the candles are looking, and also the volume. The volume on this stock was pretty high this morning, which caught my attention. But I was like, this is a high float stock, so it's kind of like a normal thing. But it turned out not to be normal, and it ended up running like crazy. So, and also what I mean by strong pre-market, like technicals is like the charting, like how the candles look and like how it's holding up before the market opened. Like, this one was holding up very well. It gave some dips before the open, but it did not go below $3 after, um, I think like after like 909, it did not go back below $3, and it was holding up pretty high. So I was actually like, I kind of was interested in that, and I took a dip actually at like $3 today, and I ended up getting stopped out, man, and because I always wasn't expecting to see this, but I'm not gonna gap out my position too much, or my trade, I should say, because this is about like what I'm looking forward to seeing in the coming days. But yeah, so next one, I was just saying I got stopped out. The next one is a price drop at the open. This, you know, we might not see this. This might be just for the stock. But if we see more like this, and like sympathy momentum, we could see maybe an extended dip off of like out of the open. In the case of this one came down quite a bit actually, and this is why it kind of stopped me out because for a while, like once it got below VWAP, I don't have VWAP marked out on my charting, but I didn't like it because first of all, we've been in a slow market, and I was not going to hold this. I was not going to risk holding this stock that long. So I ended up cutting it, and I didn't even look back at it. Like I didn't even look at it again until it broke back up like 350 or something. So that was my mistake. But in the coming days, I'll be looking for potentially like an extended dip out of the open. Um, so basically, all I'll always be doing is, if it comes down to my where I'm buying, and it stops me out, I'm gonna continue looking at it just in case it comes back up and begins going up again. Because I thought, like, looking just at this, I thought for sure, like, if you look at this, it's just in a downtrend. I thought for sure this was gonna keep going down today, man. I was like, yeah, I gotta get out of this trade. I think I took a dip right here at 3, and then I got stopped out like somewhere around here. I think like in the 290s. I was like, I'm not gonna hold this if it goes below $3, and it went below $3, and I got stopped out. And eventually, it got back above $3, and I probably would have taken that trade. It's like, what, like stop loss below 3. Let's see what happens. Kind of trade, and it ended up working out pretty well. I just didn't look at it. I was at this point when I got stopped out of this, I was like, man, it's another slow day. I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. So I was basically done trading. Um, but yeah, that's another thing I'd be looking for is a price drop at the open. So that's the end of this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. And I just want to say that I have a free Discord server that if you want to join, you can. I've been chatting in there with some people every morning about like these stocks, and we've been talking about them and stuff. So, and actually, I can look over at the Discord right now. Every morning I say good morning, and I give the top gainers, which some people don't know how to get, and so I just put them in there. And then also we go to like day trading stocks, and this one, yeah, day trading stocks. You can see that we are in here chatting up and stuff. We were talking about CMTX was really good and stuff like that.